Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Enjoying the event? यार enjoy नहीं कर रहे हो क्या? चलो, I hope you will enjoy this. Uh, so I'm Prakhar, co-founder and CTO at Dualite. Uh, okay, great. So the topic of the talk is building reusable components in a click with Dualite. So first of all, what is Dualite? So before talking about what is Dualite, let's talk about what are we solving. So the biggest problem in front end, what is the biggest problem in front end? The next slide will tell you. No, this. I guess you guys will agree. The CSS and every single property. Customer is like, we can't blame the customer because they're paying you. The designer is not paying you. So, so the problem we are trying to solve is designers and CSS. You all, I'm assuming you all must have worked as a front-end developer at some point of time in your lives. So you must have meetings with your designer that he's trying to change some padding, some margin, and that repetitive process of writing CSS manually. Yeah, each and every property that you have to memorize or just Google it every time. That's a very, very boring and redundant thing. No one wants to do that. That's why everyone rushes towards the back end, right? So yeah, this explains the problem pretty much. Okay. How many of you got like understood the meme? Like, yeah, I guess you guys got it. So what's the solution? The current thing, what happens is the MMA fights between designers and developers. You just keep iterating, multiple meetings. Your manager is frustrated. You are frustrated. That's it. That's what happens right now. The developer realized that they need to change the color from pale blue to light yellow for the 33rd time. It's something you all have faced. So the solution, Dualite. So what we are building, we are starting off with a Figma plugin. So your designer creates a Figma design and our plugin opens up inside Figma only. So you just select the design, click the button, convert to code. You have reusable React component directly with a click. So you can choose settings, HTML, React, CSS, Tailwind. These are the options we have right now, but we are adding more soon. The React Native is coming up very soon, within 1 or 2 months. So that's the very, very basic flow. And Dualite will give you reusable React component. So how that helps, you must understand, like whenever you are building some UI, you are building it to integrate it with some API or some data, some sort of data layer in your application. So Dualite focuses on that, and the code we generate is focusing on that key. It is easily integratable to any API or anything like that. So let's just quickly go to a demo. So here is a simple Figma file. You guys can see it's a standard landing page kind of thing. So what I need to is, wait. Yeah, just go on Figma and you can just search Dualite on Figma and you'll find us. I have a lot of development copies here, so you won't find all this. You will find just the last one. So we have authentication in place, so you can just log in via your Figma account. We will automatically access all your designs and everything. So it's a pretty smooth process. You just have to drop the file link here. And yeah, we are good to go. is you just have to select the design and click convert to code. That's it. And it will take up maximum a minute, and then you will have React code for that. And yeah, we support responsiveness. So if you have tried some other tools, they give absolute. We don't do that. The design is responsive. It's made using auto layouts on Figma. So the code you will get is properly responsive. We use Flex Wrap, both. No, it's some network thing, probably. It takes time to download all the images and all that. So you can download the code as a zip file, or just we have an instant preview as well, which will open up an online IDE. So it's very similar to your VS Code. It just installs the dependencies and runs up the dev server. It uses Yarn mostly. Yeah. So here's the code, and it's responsive as well. The navbar are some components that you have to manually figure it out. We are doing. It's on the next slides. I'll brief you guys about that, but it pretty much works. So the ultimate goal of a product like this is for you guys to focus on building logic and building the data layer of your application, and not waste time with CSS and writing a JSX or whatever UI thing you guys are using. Right now, we mostly support React side of systems, but we will definitely add more in future around Angular, Vue, and mobile first things as well. Yep. Yeah. So what I mean, you must be thinking that we also have a lot of front end. So we are actually using Dualite to build our own front end as well. So that's a very good recursion, I'll say. So we are using Dualite to build Dualite. I'll show you a quick example. Like this is a little component that we recently made. We are actually revamping our whole dashboard and ecosystem. So we have this file manager service integrated with the plugin. So once you converted any file, you will have that on your dashboard. So we are revamping this. So this little card that you see here, this will be the new card. So we just converted this using Dualite. I'll quickly do it again. And one very important thing that I will love to add here is the code that is generated. I didn't show you guys that. Oh, wait. Yep, you can see all the names here. These are relevant based on the design. It's not some random numbers or nothing. It's basically how you will name it yourself. So let's say this is some navbar item, navbar, whatever these links are. So it's based on the semantics of the design. So we don't just generate code, we generate semantic code. We basically, you can call it meaningful code. It's not just random, it's visible, it's also meaningful as well. And here's a little component that we used. Yeah. This is Figma. Figma is the most popular design tool that's being used across enterprises and startups right now. So that's why we started off with a Figma plugin. So we will be adding more design tools, Sketch and all. Whatever is in the market, we'll add support to that. Fig Jam is mostly for just creating flows. It's not for UI designing. This is the one. So we can do Tailwind as well. Just convert to code. And a very good thing is that this will be a reusable component. So I can just map it with my API. So whatever data is coming up, I'll just map it. No, it should not be just an image. It should be a Figma design. And yeah, that's our algorithms basically, that's the secret sauce. Yep. So even all the text fields are dynamic. These all are variables. So if you see TypeScript technology tag, so this TypeScript text is not a hard-coded text. It's a variable. So that makes it very easy to integrate with anything. Okay, let's move on with the slides. Yeah, something new. I'm actually previewing a very recent thing that we are building. We are building supports for media queries. So there is some new features from Figma called Figma variables. So where your designer can basically set some variables. So we are extracting all that information, processing it, and we are trying to generate media queries out of it. So a little thing around that is, let's say this design. Okay, this will run in my development version, not the prod. Mm, yeah. I have to re-log in because it's essentially a separate plugin. It's a separate development setup. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, we are in. So what the output will be like? This is a responsive design. I'll just show that to you guys. If I just you see the it's all responsive. That's what the output will look like using Flex Wrap, and media queries. That's how we do it when we do it normally. Yeah. As you can see, there are some media queries around. These are defined on Figma basically, and then we are processing it to create this. Okay, see. And if you notice, These buttons, look at these buttons once. So they have a logo, and in a very thin screens, when button is not of sufficient width, it's removing the logo. So these minor things we have to do by ourselves multiple times, but this can it just sets it to display none. So it's very easy to do these things on Figma because it's a basic UI. But doing everything one by one on VS Code, it takes a lot of time. Okay, let's go back here. So yeah, that's all about the demo. A little about the traction. We have 18,000 plus users. We have converted over 250 million lines of code. We are doing a paid pilot with TCS as well. For Medium and websiters are also our paid customers. And recently, Nick Kutensko, our UI UX expert, I just randomly DM'd him about our product. He tried it out. He just loved it. He created 2 reels for us for free. He didn't charge us. And fortunately enough, they boomed up to 2 million plus views, which got us some good traction. Yeah, so this is me. I'm the CTO. I handle the tech side of things. And this is Rohan, my friend, and he's the CEO. He handles the business side of things. I'm from HBTU Kanpur. I'm just recently 2024 graduate, and Rohan is 2023 graduate from BITS Pilani. And it's a very interesting story that how you might think how jumped into this problem statement and all that. So when I was in my second year, I used to find some freelance gigs as a front-end developer to just make some side income. So and Rohan did the same as a designer. So we connected through a random Discord server, and then we started doing projects as a freelancer. So he used to design, I used to code. So we literally went through all that cycle, and we were like, "Yeah, iska kuch karna chahiye. Let's build something around this." So we ideated, and it took 2-3 months, and then we landed on this key. Let's start with a Figma plugin. It's an easy start. Then it's been an year almost, and yep, that's about the story. That's the team. We are actually a team of 6 people in tech. One guy is missing here. And yeah, we recently presented at GDSC New Delhi. So that's the picture. And yeah, that's mostly about it. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter. You can check us out at dualite.dev. And yeah, follow on GitHub as well. That's more important than anything. And we actually are starting up with a lot of open source projects because see, Figma plugin development or in general plugin development is a very different field when it comes to a normal app development. That space is still very nascent. So we are starting up with building some open source toolings around it. We actually have this package. Yeah. Yeah, we actually have this package about logging and monitoring for plugins. Like when you normally do React logs and React console logs, basically, so you get the line number, you get all the stack trace, the debugging information. You get nothing inside a plugin environment. So it's basically a wrapper around normal console log. So it provides you all that information. So it makes it very easy to basically debug things. And we are actually this will be launched on Monday. Node Inspector allows you to inspect the design elements and everything. So these are some things that we are doing for the community to make the plugin development bit easier. It's something which is very new, and it's very difficult for even us to onboard anyone new in the team. So that's why we thought of building something open source. So yeah, thank you so much.